Democrats set to push through their massive COVID relief deal, even if it means doing it without a single Republican vote. Let's bring in Republican Congressman Byron Donalds of Florida. Congressman, good to see you again. You sent a letter to the leadership in the House, Nancy Pelosi and Kevin McCarthy, urging them not to go through this budget reconciliation process to pass this and potentially other bills. You said it was a means to progress a liberal agenda that, if enacted, would have devastating impacts on national security, the economy, and middle-class families. Explain your thinking there.
Well, it's a number of things. First of all, there's $1 trillion that was appropriated last year during the 116th Congress that is yet to be spent on anything that was appropriated for dealing with COVID-19. So if we're going to do anything up here in Capitol Hill, is making sure that $1 trillion is actually spent to buy more vaccines and to help small businesses and to reopen our schools. That money hasn't been spent. Number two, by them going down this $2 trillion package, what we're going to see are larger deficits, more debt for the nation, which does bring national security interests into play. We have to get serious here on Capitol Hill and not just go down these political wish lists like the Democrat leadership is doing right now.
Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell said that the new president talks a lot about unity, but his White House staff and congressional leadership are working with a different playbook. What do you think of the playbook?
I think McConnell's absolutely correct. We've not had any discussion with the majority in either chamber, really, about what's going on, whether it's COVID relief or anything else. The only thing that the president has actually done since his unity speech when he got inaugurated 2 weeks ago is sign executive order after executive order, and he's not consulting Congress on just about anything.
You wrote another letter, this one to the DHS Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas, asking him to halt efforts to prioritize vaccinating illegal migrants over the American people. The DHS policy is DHS and its federal government partners fully support equal access to the COVID-19 vaccines and vaccine distribution sites for undocumented immigrants. You've got a problem with this, clearly.
Oh, I do. Because, look, just last week, the administration was caught red-handed when they tried to vaccinate inmates down at Guantanamo Bay. Now what's being clear is they're trying to vaccinate people coming into the country illegally. We should be doing what we've been doing in Florida now for the past month, prioritizing senior citizens. They are the ones who are the vulnerable population when it comes to COVID-19. They need to be prioritized first. First responders need to be in that mix. They need to make sure they get vaccinated. We should not be creating these side plans of vaccinated people who are trying to come into the country illegally. We need to take care of American citizens first, and then everybody else has to come in line after that. That needs to be the focus of Washington, D.C. and the White House.
We should also say that you're burning up a lot of ink there on Capitol Hill. You wrote another letter to DHS demanding an investigation into Joe Biden's actions to block border wall construction. But this one I thought was interesting. This was a letter that you sent to the Smithsonian African American History Museum. You, Senator Tim Scott, Congressman Burgess Owens, and others sent a letter to the Smithsonian asking for a fairer and more complete presentation of Justice Clarence